All right, yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Tokes, aka the Beast, and of course, the right-hand man in the six is Slang Hugh.
Yep.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm still eagerly anticipating when we'll have a full cast again.
Well,
Uh, hopefully very soon. I keep saying that every show, but it's
true.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Of
It's
course,
gonna
of
happen.
course,
It's gonna
of course. Again, life
happen.
happens. Now the weather is
Yeah,
nice,
right. Man
so
is
people are
busy.
gonna go off. Hey,
Yeah, Poe's on
I
vacation, I believe.
yep,
I
I
know.
can't
I
fault.
know. Cash is busy, so yeah, it'll
No,
come around.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I think we did most of our shows when it was winter, so everybody was
Oh yeah,
inside.
that's true. When we
Yeah,
first
we
started,
started the
that's
show.
right.
We start
That's right.
again,
That's
and
true.
then Cash has his son. So I mean,
Right.
soon he's going to be going off doing all the other things that parents do, be
Yeah,
it soccer
summertime. Yeah,
or parks or whatever.
out of
You
school
know,
time. Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's soon coming. So
yeah.
just
That's
know
true.
that it's going to be busy. I mean, I split my time with my child, so these are the
Yeah,
times I can film and do whatever. So
right.
most of the time, like I said, yes, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Sorry, the day before. Sorry, the Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
The Wednesday she had soccer. I'm like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, and because
Mm-hmm.
of traffic, and again. There's only a few seasons here, and when you have summer, you have construction. I was in the car for about 2 hours just from getting from one place to the other. And we do the freaking, then we do the soccer. She had fun, exhausted, come home, and it was just too late to cook. So bought them food, and I'm like, yeah, we're here, do your thing, and that was it. And that's it. That's your end of the day. Now come,
Yeah, yeah.
it's bath time, story time, and then bedtime.
See,
So it's tough, but that's the way it's gonna be in the summer. So
yeah, yeah, makes
it is
sense.
what it is.
Makes sense. I am free as a bird myself, so you know that goes. I don't have any of those scheduling conflicts currently.
Hey, you're lucky, but at the same time, you're missing
Nah,
out.
it's both
Yeah.
sides of the scale, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
Both
say you're
sides of the
lucky.
scale.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
because I can't. Some
absolutely.
people have an amazing life without any children. Some people have an amazing life because they have children.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
can't fault a man
Um,
or a woman who doesn't have
yeah,
kids or a man who has tons of kids.
yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
floats your boat. I mean,
I always say, and I'm not against it. Like a lot of people think because I'm at this age, I was against it. I'm not against
mm,
it. It's
mm.
just literally, I just hasn't happened.
No, I get it. I get it. I
That's
mean,
it.
I got myself the kids later on in life, not
Yeah,
realizing,
yeah.
and it's easy to freaking just. But yeah, it's just again, it's when it's your time, and you'll
Yeah,
enjoy it
exactly.
if you want.
I'm
It's a
more
challenge.
focused on finding a mother for these children
Mm,
before the
mm,
children. That's
God,
more my
give him the horns for that one, bro.
focus.
Find him
Anytime
a
somebody,
lady.
you don't have kids, and I'm like, you say, yeah, oh, you should have kids. My question is like, shouldn't I have a woman first? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
that's
I'm not trying to be the baby father. I'm not trying to do it.
yeah,
Especially
yeah,
now. Like, yeah, if it happened, it happened. But
yeah,
now, why would I go down
yeah.
that road now when I'm smarter and wiser?
So
Doesn't
true,
make
so
sense.
true. Now, when it comes to you picking a partner, you have to be very meticulous in who you choose because
Absolutely.
the society has changed the way
To a
people
fault.
think. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
to a fault at this
You
point.
gotta make sure
I'm too picky.
you.
That's the problem with
Well,
me.
yeah. I mean, nothing's wrong with being too picky. I mean, if
Mm,
it is you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like.
facts.
But again, you want to make sure you make the proper decisions for yourself for the long run. So I get
Facts.
it. So that's
That's
why again,
exactly.
no one can question you without a partner or you with no kids. It is what it is. Our priorities are priorities, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm good.
yep.
I'm good. Trust me. My bank account's even better.
So true, so true. That does hurt your pocket. That hurts. And again, you have to make the sacrifices. But anyways,
Yeah.
as you usually do, what have you done for
Okay.
yourself?
Yeah.
To make yourself feel good about yourself today. What did you do today?
I guess today's a little bit more of a quote unquote superficial, I guess I would give it. Well, I mean, I did do the gym thing, but
Of
I went
course.
shopping and bought some clothes. I got myself a St. Louis Blues jersey. I wanted one of those since I was a kid,
Wow.
and I got one.
Who's on the back? Or is it just the
Nobody.
blank?
I don't buy.
So you just
Yeah, I
so
don't
you
buy
have the
those.
music. So you have the music note with the wings.
Yes.
Ooh, that's wait.
No one in that.
What color? What color is it though?
It's the away jersey. I
So
assume
it's
it's the dark
the
one, the
dark
blue.
blue with the
Yeah,
yellow and the
right.
red.
No
Does it
red
have?
in it. No, I don't like
Oh,
that one. I don't like that one.
that's
Yeah,
the
I don't
Wayne
like
Gretzky
that one.
version. That's the
Yeah,
Wayne Gretzky
yeah,
year,
yeah,
man.
it is. Yeah, I don't like that one. I
Yeah.
never liked that one. I liked it
What?
without the red. I don't know why. I never really
What?
liked that one. I
Actually,
was looking at that one. I'm like, yeah, that one's the other one,
it stands out. And you know
It
what?
does.
Speaking of jerseys, I like how teams now are changing up the way they look now.
Me too.
Very, very classy that they do these different
Yeah, me too.
concepts.
Yeah.
I guess it was in baseball first. They started doing the fatigues and whatnot.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
yeah.
then and then they had their third jersey. You know, they have their
Yeah, the
primary
third.
colors. Like for instance, the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Blue Jays have their white and their blue, whatever, and they have that powder old school 80s blue. And then they
Yeah, I
brought in
love that one.
then they brought in that red one.
The red one.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
They have the
I'd call that the
breast cancer
Raptor
one.
version. Yeah, I
Oh
call that
yeah,
the
yeah, that's a
Raptor
good
one.
idea. Yeah,
That's
that's a
what I
good point.
call it
Yeah,
because I'm
that's
like,
true.
there's no reason for the Toronto Blue Jays to have a red jersey,
That's true. Well,
right?
they're Canadian. That's the only real reason.
Yeah, and they wear them on Canada Day, right? So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
okay,
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
And then the pink ones, whoo, I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Like
And
if
they
I
have the
wanted to
camel
start
ones
collecting,
too.
exactly. So if I want to start collecting, that's what I started doing. I'll get all the
See,
Toronto Blue Jay ones and put them in a glass, and I'm like, yo, this is my team.
see.
And look at the jerseys right now. Oh man,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they
I'm
do
a
it right.
hockey jersey collector. I never thought I would be. I have like
I
4 or
think you had
5 of them now.
didn't you have a Red Wings jersey?
No, but I want one of those too. Red Wings is my team. You know what's funny? Now that we're speaking about red, red is not. I don't really like red wearing it, so that's why I haven't bought one yet. But I'm
Oh,
gonna get one because Iserman was my guy back in the day.
Stevie Y,
Yeah, that was my guy back in the
that
day.
guy. No, no,
Because I was
you know
going
what?
against the grade. You know me and Lisa, right? So I was
Yeah.
Montreal, Detroit. That's my
That's
squads.
it, eh? Those are your
Yeah,
squads.
that's my squads.
Wow. Wow.
Fun fact though, as you were talking about the different jerseys that they
Mhm,
have for each
mhm.
team, did you know? Well, I watched a podcast recently where Isaiah Thomas was saying that the Detroit Bad Boys, Pistons, or Bad Boys, were
Mhm.
the first professional sports team to have a third jersey. Before them, there was only the home and away. But then they got remember they had that picture with the Raiders color jerseys with the
Yeah,
black
yeah,
and
yeah,
silver?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
the first third uniform.
Okay, so they started the whole trend.
They started it. They also apparently who was it again? I saw somebody was making fun of Isaiah because Isaiah was saying how much it was Gilbert Arenas, which I love that podcast too. But
No, I've been watching that actually
yeah,
recently
yeah,
too.
it's jokes. It's jokes. He's funny as hell.
He's straight direct.
Straight direct.
Straight direct. Straight direct.
He was saying because Isaiah was saying how they beat all the franchises that they talk about because they don't talk about the Bad Boys as much as the Showtime Lakers
Right,
and
right, right. The
the
Bulls.
Bird Celtics and the
Yeah,
Jordan Bulls. And
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
we beat all of those teams in our
In their
prime.
prime.
In
Yeah.
our prime, and he's not wrong.
He's
He's
not
not
wrong.
wrong. But what Gilbert Arenas is saying is they were the first team to have private flights. So while all the other teams were doing commercial for those 2 years at the Pistons, 2 years the Pistons won,
Mhm.
he said, I gotta look this up. I don't know what true it is. Somebody knows if this is true. He's saying they had private flights, so they had more rest than everybody else because everybody else had to wait and get on
Wow.
a
So that's why
normal
they were
plane
successful.
with normal people and sit in normal seats as 6-7 foot guys. And you know how it is on a plane
Wow. Yeah,
already.
yeah,
So he's
yeah,
saying that
yeah.
was a big, and if it's true, it is a big advantage. I don't know if it's big enough,
It makes
but it is a
sense.
big, yeah.
It makes
And
sense.
that's why they ran the gauntlet for 2 years. And then the year that everybody else started getting planes,
Is when they caught up and said, "Yup, we got you. We got you. we, we we got you." So true.
yeah.
Speaking of now, we're on sports. Speaking of sports, you know what? You know what you need to watch, and I say you have to watch this. Netflix has a Bill Russell
Oh, okay.
documentary
Okay.
that
Okay.
you need to watch. That
Yeah.
man
Okay.
was
Yeah, I already
great.
know. Oh yeah. Bill
When I mean
Russell's a Muhammad Ali of basketball.
no, but when I mean great beyond the game itself,
That's why.
beyond the civil rights
Yeah.
itself,
Yeah, I can believe it.
I mean, the man player coached the squad
Yeah.
and
Oh
won
yeah, yeah,
three
yeah, yeah.
championships. This guy he's
Yeah, yeah.
like he
And he was
brought
a coach at one point too. He didn't
and
win
the thing
as
is,
a coach.
here's the thing, he did it as a competitor. He wasn't
Mhm.
he was a nice guy, but his biggest rival was Wilt Chamberlain.
Yes.
And the man said, "Yo, Wilt got the biggest contract in the NBA, $1 million." And he goes to the GM, he goes to Red Artwork, and he goes, "Oh,
My turn.
well, if he's getting that money, what about me? Or what do you want?" "Well, I'll take $1,001." I'm like, "Oh my god." It's so petty, but it's so true. I'm just $1 better than you. That's all it means.
That's all I need. I'm better. That's all I need.
Exactly. And I'm like,
I don't have to be millions
wow.
better. $1
like,
better. I'm better.
So when it came to after watching it, and I realized how everybody says, "Oh, Jordan's a GOAT." Jordan's not the GOAT.
No, I disagree with you there.
No.
Now you're going too far. You're going too far.
No.
Your lucky Poe isn't here for you, bro. Your lucky Poe's not here.
No, here's the thing. Like when it comes to a competitive level, this man
Nah.
took it. No, yes, he was in an era where he's
right.
Above
That's why.
Yes, but
Mhm.
then Wilt came in.
Mhm.
Elden Baylor, whatever his name, Baylor.
Elgin Baylor, yeah.
He came in. All these guys came. He
Yeah.
was still beating them.
Yeah.
After
but it wasn't as much competition.
After Kuzi retired, because everybody says he can't win without Kuzi, and all of a sudden he won without him. Oh, you can't win with the coach, and then he won as a player coach, and he kept on winning. And I'm like,
don't get me wrong. I'm the kind of guy. I've said this once. I put him. He's what's the call again? What do we call it? He is a applicable alternate to my top 5. Like he might make it sometimes, and he might not make it other times. It kind of depends. But he's well deserving.
We didn't watch his era.
That's the only. And to me, I think if you can only go two ways with those types of arguments of the greatest of all times. You either discount the era, like you don't when they played and who they played doesn't matter. It's what they did in that era, or you've completely included, which makes it a lot more complex. Like you go one way or the other, but you can't, because sometimes people have this debate and they'll include it when it's convenient and take it out when it's convenient. So, for example, a guy might say, for example, like we're saying Bill Russell. I'm saying Bill Russell isn't greater than Mike because he didn't have as much competition. And people try to use that same argument for LeBron to Jordan, to say LeBron faced a lot stiffer competition than Jordan did.
But LeBron Jordan comparison is closer than the Bill Russell and Jordan because of the difference of competition. It got better.
I would agree. Yes, I would agree. More teams,
But this is I agree that, and the whole not taking the era into consideration is a very big thing in all sports, because right now I'm hearing people saying that Floyd Mayweather is pound around the greatest boxer of all time, and I'm like, what about Ali? Oh, but Ali was
it's different though. And that's the caveats of it. That's the nuance of the argument. Because when somebody says Mayweather is the greatest boxer of all time, I agree if you're saying in the ring. If we're only talking about in the ring, I agree. If we're talking about everything,
he's never lost.
It's not only that, it's the technique of that, but it's the technique of boxing. The idea is to hit and not get hit.
Yes.
And he mastered that. Whereas Muhammad Ali was the opposite. He would take hits to win.
Yeah.
So it's that way. Yes. Is Mayweather the greatest boxer of all time? Yes. But is he the greatest man to box? Different story. No, it's not that.
That's.
But he's a great. Again, I'll bring it to a Jordan LeBron thing, because I think, and probably than our two co-hosts, I think it's closer than a lot of people might say of our generation between LeBron and Jordan. I think it's a lot closer than a lot of people say. I would argue, if I'm arguing on LeBron's behalf, my argument would be that LeBron is great at more things in basketball than Jordan was.
Yes.
More overall things.
Yes. He was.
But Jordan was so great at the things he was great at, he's greater than LeBron.
That's why they say Kobe is to Jordan as LeBron is to Magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I would agree with that. But again,
not the exact, but just the comparison. I mean,
I agree.
Magic could score if he wanted to, but he is so more well versed in the sport that made him a complete floor general. Whereas the Black Mamba and MJ, they were just
there's mostly scorers.
They were just scorers, and they had that mentality as the Mamba mentality, and they just were diehard competitive guys. And you saw that in interviews, you saw that in the court, off the court. They were focused on winning and scoring and dominating. And I
Right.
get it. Whereas LeBron made everybody around him better. No
Right.
matter what. You could
Right.
be freaking Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, J.R. Smith, whatever.
A lot of
Kevin
mans.
Love.
A lot of mans.
He's put a lot of
Kyrie Irving.
he's
A
put a lot of
lot of
food on the
mans.
table for these people.
Yeah, that
And I
first
get it.
Cleveland
So,
team he took to the finals.
Yeah,
A lot of men.
I respect what he has done in the league. His ego gets the best of him though, because he's just claiming all this, claiming, and all the guys that have been great have never claimed that.
No, not true.
No, who's claimed? Who?
Mike Jordan is that guy. Maybe you mean? Are you talking about during playing?
After playing,
Jordan is the guy. After playing, Jordan is the Mr. Throw shade at anybody that they compare to.
Well, that's because Jordan's spiteful though. Like he's
just yeah. But he's ego.
Kobe didn't. Yeah, Kobe didn't do that.
Kobe became I didn't like Kobe as a player. I actually hated him.
Kobe's great.
After, yes, I cannot deny that. But I didn't like him because of how he moved. He's very arrogant and egotistical while he's playing.
That was young Kobe.
Yes.
Though.
By the time he retired, by the time he retired, I was like, okay, I like this guy, man. I wish he was like, I actually was upset that I didn't get to appreciate him during playing as much. I didn't like him. I didn't like him.
Now, do you believe the story about the whole 24? How he said he was one better than Jordan? That's why he picked 24.
No, he's not better than Jordan, bro.
No. I said that's why he changed the number.
No, I could see that because again, he's highly competitive. Jordan would have did the same thing. Jordan would have did something similar.
I think so.
Highly competitive guys. That's what I would say LeBron is missing, and that quote unquote, even though I don't fully agree with it, but I get when people say he doesn't have the killer instinct. He doesn't have the killer instinct that those guys have. I get that.
But the competition was different. You're going by
eras.
It was
different.
Now. The difference is look, if you watch Detroit versus the Chicago Bulls, you'll know why Jordan went freaking God mode on these guys. Because he had to survive. That was him and survival. Whereas LeBron, hey,
and you're not gonna like the guys that are fucking knocking you on your ass every time you go to, you're not gonna be friends with those guys.
Remember what was it the 92 Olympics? Jordan said, Don't ask me about no Isaiah Thomas questions. That is the greatest line. Don't give me no Isaiah Thomas questions. I'm like, wow. He really hated Zeke. And remember, his coach was the Detroit coach.
Yeah. And
he's coaching him for the Olympics.
But that was another strange thing that Isaiah said when Jordan first got to Chicago, because Isaiah's a Chicago guy. Yeah. That's where he's from.
He's from Chicago.
Isaiah was like, I'm the one that took this guy around and introduced him to certain men and people in the city. I made him comfortable in my city.
But also the competition just rose above all that.
People said that's part of what Zeke hates about him, because he's more loved in Chicago than Zeke is.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I get it.
But I get it too.
Zeke's a good guy. Isaiah, he had a great career. He had a great run in the front office of certain teams. Commentary, he's very entertaining when he was doing that stuff. So yeah, you have again, I can't compare him to those guys, but at the same time, be happy. You have championship. You're in the hall. You're one of the greatest players. I think is he part of the ones? He's part of the 75.
Yeah. So, if he's not, there's a problem. He would have to be.
But that's why I don't like how these guys keep complaining about how this guy did this. No, don't worry about anybody else's career.
But he definitely should have been on that team, though. He definitely should.
He was the missing piece.
Yeah, he definitely should have been.
If they didn't have a college player, it would have been him. I mean, I would take him over freaking Chris Mullin. Not gonna lie.
Over John Stockton too, if we're talking, because that back then it was position basketball.
Yeah, you're right.
Definitely over John Stockton. I'm sorry. There's no Stockton was a bad boy too, but he wasn't Zeke. Yeah, no way.
You're right.
No way. Absolutely.
It's just sad how some people just hold that animosity so long. And again, when you get famous, the money and the fame gets to your head, and that's what happened to Jordan. I mean, it's just crazy how he has so many enemies now. I mean, no one really talks to him or talks about him anymore. Not well in a nice way.
No, I'm sure they do, but he has a
like Pippen. He's hating on him.
Yeah,
Charles. They haven't talked to Charles and him. Haven't talked for how long?
Yeah.
And
because again, he said he's a bad owner.
Right, and we're talking about guys who used to freaking rub elbows together, like best friends. Charles, I would honestly say, if it wasn't for Pippen, Charles and Mike would be best friends right now.
They'd
right?
probably be close. Probably. For as much as we know. Yeah.
And for what it's worth, Charles Barkley has had a better post career than he had playing career. He's very entertaining. He's been in movies. He's just
better. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if it's better.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. He had a great career. He's a Hall of Famer. I get it.
What do you mean? Like, as in terms of what? Like, what would you say makes it better?
Success. He is very successful in what he does. Like people turn on the TV because of him.
Yeah, but I wonder.
You can challenge
me. You're saying more people know him now than they did him as a player?
Yes.
I kind of agree with that. Different time, more media.
Remember these guys have retired for a while.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I can see that.
And if you look at the panel,
people
usually see remember who they put on the ends, right? Shaq and Charles.
Yeah,
Eddie's in and Eddie and Kenny are in the middle, and they're just Kenny's a two-time freaking.
Well, yeah, they're the personalities of the show for sure.
Right,
Shaq and Charles are the personalities.
Right, but Shaq has had a more successful playing career, and everybody knows him because of his stature. Whereas Charles is just
Shaq is very entertaining though. Shaq is a personality too.
He's probably, I think, out of anybody in the NBA, he's the most talented and well-versed person who came out of the league. 100%. No one did better than him. No one. And again, I think
not entertainment.
Kobe was on that route. He was trying to go that route because he did that book he did, I guess the auto book or something.
Oh yeah.
And he won a Grammy.
First
one. I'm
production
like, wow.
team, production company.
So
and all
he was going that route, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if it wasn't for certain things, we would see.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think Kobe would have built an empire of some type outside of basketball.
Yes, and again, he had children that were playing the game too, right? Imagine Kobe all of a sudden buying a franchise in the WNBA or being a whatever, and then having his daughter. There's so much potential that was there, right?
Yeah.
But again, that's not going to happen.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah. Well, and again, speaking of R.I.P., let's
I don't know if that's morbid to do, but
we're segueing because we have to give her the respect. Though Tina Turner just passed, I'm giving her the respect.
Yeah,
I was doing a ride on my Peloton bike on cardio, just 20 minutes, and the trainer threw in a Tina Turner song right there, just because.
Nice,
more respect to you, bro. You have to understand. There's one thing to respect artists like MJ and so forth and blah blah, but Tina, she did it right. And she had no drama. I mean, Ike was there, but I mean, no. Other than that, she just did her thing, had her life, and just ride off into the sunset. Remember, she gave up her American citizenship. She was, I believe, living in Switzerland.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that. I didn't know that.
She was not living.
Did they say why? How was she died of? I heard it was just illness.
I believe it's cancer. I believe it. Pancreatic cancer, intestinal cancer. I believe so. Again, she was out of the limelight.
Very private.
Again, more respect to her. You did your dirt. You enjoyed your life. You're collecting your royalties. I don't believe she even has any children.
I think she does.
I could be wrong. I haven't checked details, but I could check details. But I don't think she has children.
No, I feel like she does. I think there's Ike Jr. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have.
Is there Ike Jr.?
I'm pretty sure. Maybe he might be dead, but I'm pretty sure they had kids.
Okay, let me check Tina Turner right now.
Unless he was from a different.
No, it could be.
No,
it could be that.
Why did they have her as a Swiss singer?
That's again. See, I told you she revoked her American citizenship and moved to the States.
What's interesting?
Oh, she had 4 kids.
4? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
I'm like, wow, that's impressive.
Wow.
Impressive.
I did not know that.
And again, I would say I can call her a queen of rock because again, she was very good at what she did at a young age. Did her thing. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Tina Turner had 2 biological sons.
And was pretty what they would consider past her prime when she was at the peaks of her career.
When she did the whole "What's Love Got to Do with It?"
Yeah,
she was already well in her 50s.
Yeah,
pushing the 60s.
Yeah,
and then she just
killing it.
And then she was. You know what? There's some people that I just have to admire in the music industry after their prime. She's one of them. You know who's another one? You'd probably be shocked. Dolly Parton. I love me some Dolly Parton.
Yeah. I can't say I love Dolly Parton, but in the context of putting it, that's very true.
Yeah.
I just
no. Yeah. In terms of her prime, yeah. And I watched a Dolly Parton documentary. again,
Oh, I
I
meant to
love
watch that.
document.
I meant to watch.
Those are great. Those are
What's it
great.
called?
Yeah.
Between Two Hills?
Yes.
No, that's
I
not what
think
it's called.
no,
Yes.
no. Dolly Parton. I forget what it is. I forget. You caught me off guard, bro.
I said yes.
Yeah. Wait a minute. This
Yes.
show is PG, bro. Wow. Gotta chill out. Wow. But she again, after her initial prime, she went
Yeah.
and then she did more. And
Yeah.
then she was just amazing. She was one of them.
That's true.
Like Tina is another. But
Probably an
again,
interesting like a top five-ish type. Like what are the
top five.
top five oldest, greatest musicians of our time, like the ones that lasted the longest type thing.
Yeah, but Tina, she came out of the limelight and just enjoyed life. But again, her songs, her duets,
Mm-hmm.
and even her body herself, like the way she kept
Yeah.
fit, the legs,
Yep.
that's what we talked about. And she
Yep.
was
Yep.
just
Yep.
all over the place. I'm like, okay.
Speaking of the body,
Mm,
remember when Angela Bassett played her? Angela
yep,
Bassett had them guns,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
Like,
That's when
yo.
that's exactly. So I'm thinking, you know what? She had to go work a ton out.
Yeah.
She had to work out a
Yeah.
ton to get that body because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think she realized how physically demanding Tina Turner's
Probably
routines and all
not.
that was. Because
Probably
again,
not.
these musicians have to keep up, especially a girl that had a very very energetic set.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
she was playing
In
with the
heels.
yes, exactly,
Wow.
exactly. So you had to keep up.
Commendable.
Yeah, you had to
Commendable, man.
keep up.
Commendable. And to
Speaking
go
of
from what you went from to get to still finding success after the Ike and Tina stuff is
yeah,
amazing. But
now
yeah, sorry, you're gonna say something?
Now, well, I'm saying we're talking about heroes passing and whatnot, and we're talking about documentaries. You know, another one that you can watch actually is I don't know if you have Prime, but I have Prime, and
I
I
do.
watched
I do.
the Reggie Jackson
I've been
documentary.
meaning to watch that. There's a
I can
couple
watch
of there's Reggie
documentaries.
Jackson's. There's I think it's on Prime too. It's either Prime or Netflix. The Sweetwater one, the first black basketball player,
Oh,
professional
really?
basketball player. Sweetwater, I
Really?
think it's called. Yeah, it's either
Okay.
Netflix or Prime. Check it out. It's
Okay.
one that's
Okay.
on there. I haven't
There's
watched
a
it yet.
lot. There's a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, even on I told you about Gem, and I watched one about Sweet Daddy. He was the first black professional wrestler to make it, and everybody loved that guy.
Sweet
Everybody.
Daddy. I don't know if I know
Yeah.
that guy.
Go look up Sweet Daddy.
I
Blonde.
don't
He
know
was
if
the
I
guy.
know.
He had blonde hair. And
Is that the
again,
same Butch Reed? That's not the same guy.
nope. But
Different guy.
again,
Yeah?
that's where Butch Reed
Got it
got
from.
his gimmick.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The blonde
Okay.
hair is because of that.
Yeah,
That
makes
man
sense.
and anybody from Iron Sheik to Bret Hart to whoever, they know who Sweet Daddy is.
Sweet Daddy.
I'm telling you, he was
American?
legendary in Canadian. Oh, well,
That makes sense.
he's American, but he did so well in the
In
Canadian that everybody just
Yeah. Because
appreciates
there's a
him as.
time where Canadians were big, like they're
Oh,
huge in
the
this.
thing is, like again, because we're so overwhelmed with the U.S. stuff that we forget that the Canadians do a lot from
We had our
hockey
own
to basketball.
wrestling
Oh yeah,
territory.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stu Hart,
Stu Hart. Yeah.
he ran Canada with
Yeah.
wrestling, and
Yeah.
the top guys that are in WWE are from his faction. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
The top guys.
Facts.
So I'm like, yeah, everybody.
Speaking of which, I was hearing that Bret Hart got his Canadian Walk of Fame star.
He did.
So did Julie Black as well, which
Yes.
I'm very proud of her for that.
Very, very happy about that.
I still remember Julie Black when she was like the young girl singing with Cardinal and Socrates.
Yeah.
Wild. Julie, you were wild. You were wild. Don't think I remember.
It's so true.
I remember when they used to call you Julie Slack. I remember. No disrespect. No disrespect. Because you're a beautiful woman and you've come a long way from those days. But I'm sure you've progressed, but I don't feel like you've changed. And there's a difference in those. You've evolved, but not necessarily changed, if people understand what I'm saying. And she still seems to be her. Like, she accepted her award singing This Little Light of Mine. And I'm just like, yo, this is her. It's like,
this is her.
Still,
same woman.
the Jaden Finch girl is still in there, man. It shows. I love it, man. I love it.
You can't take, again, when you're a proud Canadian, I want to say, I don't want to put a race in it, but again, you're from Jaden Finch. You're in an urban area.
Culture.
The culture. It sticks with you. So be proud. Everybody was proud. She was even more proud when the Indigenous people praised her for, I think she was singing the national anthem.
Yeah,
And they
she
were like,
changed the words.
yeah. And
Yeah.
they went off.
Yeah.
They were
They
giving
gave her
her
award. Yeah.
awards. They gave her ceremonies.
Amazing.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yo,
Amazing.
take it in because you
Yeah.
deserve it.
You
Because again,
deserve it.
you're a Canadian treasure, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like Carter now, who's hosting, Canadian
Junos.
stuff. Yeah, he does all that stuff. I'm like, these guys are national treasures,
That's a
and
fact.
and I honestly don't think we give them the utmost respect or even the
They're
round
not
of
as treasured
applause.
as they should be. No, I
Yeah,
agree. I
yeah.
agree.
That's why I
Especially
mean,
on the urban
yes,
level.
yes,
I
yes.
agree. I
So
agree.
I had to go in and I watched Finn's award, whatchamacallit, the
See.
video there. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I need to start watching the Junos. I used to watch the Junos on a regular basis until I started
Yeah.
before I loved the Junos. I loved the Junos.
Yeah. I've
I was
never watched, and I'm the music
oh
guy. I've
again,
never
I
watched
always
this Juno
I
ceremony.
always wanted to see how Canadians can do the Oscars or the Grammys
Mm-hmm,
their way.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And they did it very well back in it. Again, you're watching guys, the Guess Who, Blue
mm-hmm,
Rodeo,
mm-hmm,
all this Steve Matthews, all these guys, and you listen to them because that was going on, and they would put on
mm-hmm.
great shows. And I'm
Facts.
like, wow, okay, Canada can do it well, but again, life happens, and award shows just get so weird and very,
Yeah.
very politics. I mean, you just stop watching it. I'm like, man. But then again, these now superstars in the US come back and do these shows and perform or do whatever for Canada. I'm like, wow, you're actually Canadian and you're actually funny or you're actually very entertaining. And now you're back in home. Like when that guy that did the Seven Rings, that guy, the Asian guy that was in the
Oh,
Marvel
I
movie.
always forget his name. I've heard his name,
Yeah.
but I know you're talking about.
I follow him on Twitter, but he is
Yeah.
funny. He's
Yeah.
very, very versatile as well. Because I watched him on that convenience store show.
Oh yeah. Kim's Convenience.
Kim's Convenience. I watched him there. I'm like, man,
I never watched that show. Was that show good?
what? That show is fun. The first
Yeah.
episode will blow you away.
Yeah.
And
I gotta
it's
check it out.
typical.
I gotta check it out.
Imagine the culture
Yeah.
that's so, like, again, it's an Asian culture. So they put that whole culture in the show.
Yeah,
Right?
I noticed
Like
that.
the first episode was talking about gay people, and it blew me away. It was so funny, but so real how Asian people will kind of deal with that. And
Yeah.
it was just so real. It's just like you remember Rachel Lee when she had the kink in her hair, just like that.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
I used to love that show.
Exactly. It's just like it was just so real because I'm like, yeah.
So it's an inside look at the culture, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
And you can only do it in Canada. You can't do it in the States. You
Not
can't
the
do a
same
show
way.
like
It's not
that
the same way.
because Afro Americans do things totally different in the States, whereas Afro Americans, Afro Canadians here is from a Jamaican background or an African background.
We keep our culture.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's why I always
Not
say
as
that
much of
Americans don't really have per se a culture. They have people who
They have
bring
an
culture.
American culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I said the how Afro-American. Yeah, but then they even forget themselves that they're from Africa. I'm like, wow.
Some of them don't even want to forget.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even want to.
They don't want to acknowledge that. But again, people in Canada, they embrace it from the food they
That's
eat.
true.
I watched a documentary about the Jamaican patty. Boom.
I still gotta watch that too.
I'm telling you, there's
still gotta watch that
Canada,
too. The
Canada
Randy's one, right?
The plethora of culture is in Canada that you cannot erase. And
now,
it's just amazing.
I will say cities like New York, which New York is probably the only city I've been to that is similar or close to Canada.
Yeah.
In that there are a lot of cultures there that are represented still, and they still celebrate them. Like you have your Puerto Rican Day, you have your what do they call it there? Their version of Caravana there. I don't know what they call it, Carnival or whatever. So you have these. New York is probably one of the, and I haven't been to as enough cities to really compare all of them, but New York is the one that I could say is closest to a tossed salad rather than a melting pot.
Yeah, okay.
And still, it's more a melting pot than Canada.
And I think they only do it for a monetary level. Like they really don't represent. Like for instance, Caravana. Everybody knows Caravana. And you can go to places who will still live out Caravana after Caravana is done, right?
I still think you get that in New York. I still think you do.
Really?
I do. Yeah,
so
because New York,
is there like a Greek? Is there a Greek town or whatever in New York? Because I know there's stuff in Toronto. right? Little Portugal,
See, I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm sure. There's definitely a Chinatown. Definitely.
Oh, of course,
I don't know
every
about. Yeah,
bigger
every
city
city
has
has
one.
that.
Yeah,
I
every
don't
city
know
has one.
if there is those other type towns. I'm sure there are sections where most certain groups of people live, because there's a
Right.
Jewish section.
Of
At least there
course.
used to be.
Of course. Of course.
So I don't know. To your point, I can't per se say that, but I believe so.
Mm.
Also, what was I going to say? Just on the Jamaican side, like
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
background,
Mhm.
I do know that New York is one of the hubs of reggae and dancehall music in North America. Like artists used to try, if they're going to leave Jamaica, especially like in the
Oh
80s,
yeah. Yeah.
they're
Man,
going to
like
New York, they're
yeah.
going to Miami, they're going to Toronto.
Yeah. Well, and that goes for anything outside of the US. Anybody would go to New York, Toronto, Miami first. Busta
That is true.
Rhymes, KRS-One, all these
That is
guys are
true.
not from the States.
Yeah.
If they were imports, but they
Yeah.
made sure they were, they did their thing in these major cities.
That's
So
true.
yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody does go to those major, but
Mhm.
I would say that they're not, especially back then, they weren't going to other cities. Whereas those guys you mentioned were going to
Mm.
other, because hip hop was
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
Whereas, like we're basically talking about immigration.
Yeah.
Initially, the '70s immigration, like the late '70s immigration
That
that
was the
all
place
our
to go.
parents came up on.
Yeah.
That was one of the places a lot of Caribbean people went to.
That's true. That's true. And you know what? In Canada, Toronto was the hub.
Yeah,
There,
Toronto and
no matter.
Montreal.
Yeah, yeah.
That was it.
And then later on, you would get a Winnipeg or a
Right.
BC because, and
Yes.
again, the only people, not only, but majority of the people who go to BC is the Asian population
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So instead
Yeah.
of going all the way to Toronto, they go
Yeah.
to BC and
Yeah.
then they make
Yeah.
their way whatever, right? And again, now people would go, say, for instance, Toronto, get established, and then go off into any places. There's a
The
lot of
different place.
people
Yeah. Yeah.
that are in Calgary that are not from Canada or
Yeah.
anywhere here, right? At the
Well,
same time, there's a lot of people in Newfoundland that are not from here either
yeah.
because it's just
I can
they
believe it.
know that they have an opportunity and they make something out of nothing. So yeah, but
Plus,
you're
it's
right.
also easier to get into. Toronto's like
Yes,
the hardest place to get in as an immigrant.
now,
Now,
yeah, yeah,
it is the
now,
hardest
now.
place. You
But
have to go to.
that's because of the times have changed, right? It's so
Yeah,
much. It's
because
so
it's
overpopulated.
we don't need you. That's simple.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
shouldn't say it
you're right.
like that. But we
No,
don't.
no,
Like the
but it's
government
true,
doesn't. The government looks at it like we don't need your labor here. We have enough
right?
people to take care of this.
Hmm.
Go
Hmm.
go to the rest of the country that's sparsely populated and
You're
help
right.
them out. Or
You're right.
go to Quebec where
Hmm.
they need people because people are leaving by the droves because they don't want to speak French. So
Yeah,
go over
you're
there.
right.
Because
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and saying the last couple of times I've been to Montreal, it's almost like there's not that many born francophones left over there. Like it just seems like, I'm sure that's not the truth,
Hmm.
but it seems like a lot of immigrants have come from different, like South Asians, Haitians,
It's the same here.
Africans, all
Same
types
here.
of. I could see that too because it's
Yeah.
easier to get over there too than it is
Yeah.
in Toronto.
The majority of the people now, I hate to say it. No, I won't say I hate to say it. I'm actually happy to say that they're of East Indian descent because they're
Yeah,
the ones that work. They work, and you will
East
see.
Indians are. Listen, man. Let me keep it 100, okay?
Mhm.
I respect them to the hilt.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
they they like you said, they do what is necessary as a community to
Mhm.
thrive.
Mhm.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Every other community should take notes. But
Mhm.
East Indian Asians in general, South Asians and East Asia, or is it
Yeah.
East?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And East Asians, I think they're the most. East Asians are definitely in the last few years at the highest immigration rate in Canada. But I would think that the Asians of both South and East are
Mhm.
they're nomadic. They migrate. They go
Mhm.
anywhere to
And
make
succeed.
their success, and they'll
Mhm.
come back to their
Mhm.
country, or they'll go. But they go any. Jamaica's pretty much ran by Chinese and
Oh,
Indians at
I've
this
I've
point.
heard. I've heard.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard. I've heard of the
pretty
Chinese
much
Jamaicans are seriously
taking
there.
over.
They
Yep,
run businesses there.
yep,
And I'm like,
yep.
and I'm thinking, that wasn't before. It was African. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah,
Africans used to run everything.
yeah.
Either Nigerians.
Africans still move around a lot too.
They do, but they
Yeah.
they move a bit different these days for some reason. I don't
Mm,
know why. But those East Asians and the South Asians, they just, you're right, they go anywhere. You want to put them in Calgary, they'll find a way.
they're
You want to put them
going.
in Newfoundland,
Yeah,
they'll find a way.
yeah,
BC, they'll find a way. Toronto,
yeah.
they'll find a way. And then
Yeah.
when they do find a way, they'll tell people the secret and they'll come in. And then
Droves in droves they come in.
keep on going, keep on, and you can't fault them because they still push out great, smart students. They have great businesses that come up. So what do you can't complain,
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, one of my biggest pet peeves, or one of the things I hate hearing, is immigrants complaining about other immigrants. I'm not gonna lie, like it's a culture shock, especially where I'm at. It's a big culture shock in the last maybe 5-6 years, and sometimes it gets to me too. But I will I don't ever complain about, oh, they're letting too many of them in. You'll never hear me. Like, I wouldn't be here, so I wouldn't be here if when they were saying that about my parents. I wouldn't be here. So I can't turn around now and say, oh, they're letting too many of them in. Where did I come from? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm Canadian born, but my parents aren't.
I get it.
And at that time, I'm sure a lot of white people were on that. Oh, they're letting too many Europeans in. It's the crime rate is going up, and this. I'm sure that was going on back.
And on the flip side, though, these are the same people who would do the dirty jobs that you would never want to do.
That's the thing,
right? I mean, there's a lot of them. You'll see a lot of these I guess immigrants doing the garbage, or doing the serving, and doing the dishes, and doing all this stuff. They're proud of what they're doing because they're not looking at the right now. They're looking at what it's going to do for them later.
Nope.
So yeah, they'll do that for X amount, and then they'll cake up their money, and all of a sudden they'll buy a business. And you're like, oh, where'd you come from? Well, I've been doing this for freaking 5 years straight. I've been working the midnight shift, doing security on the side. So yeah, give them the credit they deserve because they put in their work.
Got it, man. Can't front on them that way. Absolutely can't front on them that way.
I can't.
Not at all.
And I've seen a lot of the talk on the TikToks and whatnot about all the illegal immigrants in the States and blah blah. How people are telling, oh, go back to your country. I'm like, yo, are you going to do what they're doing? No. So what are you complaining about? Leave them alone.
They're keeping your country afloat in many ways.
I mean, like
many ways, whether you want to believe it or not.
The U.S. keep on saying, yeah, this is American free, but the country is built on immigrants. It's crazy how they forget.
Egomaniacal entitlement. That's what that is. They just
but the thing is,
feel entitled.
But at the same time, no one's teaching them this. The books don't say this.
That's true.
The books say totally different. So they're going to assume, and they're going to be taught that this is how it was, and it isn't. Because every year, a little bit is taken out of the books. Heroes are being dismissed. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for watching documentaries and hearing people who lived it tell their story, I guess, like I said, the Bill Russell thing, he was talking to Dr. King. He said, Dr. King, he said he wanted him on the podium beside him when he was singing, because he was, this is how I want you here. And Bill Russell is telling his story right down to when he went to go help Muhammad Ali about his whole draft situation. He was there. So these stories are being told. I'm like, yeah, this is education for everybody, because you guys don't know how it's been. And if no one says it or no one documents it,
how are you going to know?
Yeah, it's going to be written out. So it's a plus that these people are talking about their stories, right? That's why I watch the documentaries. Man, like freaking the Reggie Jackson documentary, him and his manager hated each other. But his thing is, Reggie Jackson was
when he was on Detroit or New York.
No, he was on the A's, and when he went to New York, that's when the hate happened.
That's right. I'm thinking about Dave Winfield on Detroit.
He hated his manager. Like,
who was the manager at that time?
Billy Martin, I believe, was the time. Billy Martin.
Okay. Yeah.
And they had fights, and he was
they
had verbal fights in the paper, and they had fights in the dugout. And
I'm gonna watch that. Now I gotta watch
one time. Billy Martin says, "Yo, Reggie, yo, do something. So what did Reggie do in the freaking in the extra innings? Hits a home run and just walks off. I'm out. I mean, And the thing is, Reggie's telling a story. He's telling his story.
Right? I gotta watch that. Yeah,
that's why I watch these documentaries. Anything that I think I don't know if Shaq has his documentary out, but I heard they're doing a Shaq.
He does have a series. He does.
Okay.
It's called Shaq.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's like
there's
a
that.
4-part miniseries, I think.
Right. So those are the
Remember,
things I
Poe
want.
was talking about it on one
Yes, yes,
episode.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I want to watch them because I mean, you'll hear the story from the horse's mouth. You'll hear
Right,
it. Hear the
right,
stories. I mean,
right.
I wish, like I said, Last Dance, because of the whole COVID situation,
Mhm.
one of the most watched and probably the most successful documentaries you can watch
A
at
very
that
good
time.
one.
And a
It's
very
very
good
good.
one.
Yeah,
As much
very
as
good.
people liked it or disliked it, it needed to be said.
It was
And it was
polarizing.
Yes. Yes. So I'm like, man, now you just get rid. Now you get that energy. Say, I want to watch about this guy and that guy and how he lives and how that person lived. There's so much people that
So let
have
me
so
ask you
much
this
different
then:
stories.
with whose documentary that, or what's a person, a famous person that hasn't had a documentary, or you haven't seen it yet that you would like to see?
Documentary,
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
You know what's funny?
Hogan.
I was he has but it's not about his life.
No,
There's
I know. Yeah,
one, you know that one about the
that the case. That was about the case. Yes. That's fine. But I want the
the
beginning of
full
Hulk
story.
America.
Yeah.
I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I
I
want
was
him
just
to tell it.
I'm gonna give a little story that I heard this the other day. I was talking to
Mm,
somebody about this, and apparently Hulk Hogan has an interview audio. You might even know about it because you're a wrestling man, where he's talking
mm.
about his movie career and why it didn't take off. Because he should have been the first Rock, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying that he is initially doing, because he did a lot of
He did a
bad
lot of
movies.
horrible movies.
Yeah.
He was pushing them out too quickly. But yeah, he was
Yeah.
getting it.
But he was saying that he was doing that to build his resume so that they would start calling him for the bigger good
stuff.
movies, right?
Yeah.
And also because those movies, the lower budget ones, were bad because they're paying Hulk Hogan like 75% of the budget.
Yeah.
So they had to go and get
They're paying for the name.
Right.
Yeah, but a bunch of nobodies here beside you.
Right, beside him.
I think the best one he did was No Holds Barred with Zeus.
I was just gonna say that was the best one with Tiny Lister.
Exactly. And now Tiny turned that into a wrestling career, and then he turned that into a movie career because he wasn't doing anything before.
No, was he? No, I think he was in movies before that, but not as big.
Not before that. No, that was
his main first role.
That was his thing, and then they just
and then
blew
Friday.
Him up. And then Friday.
Wow.
Then he did Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like you said.
Yeah.
From Zeus with the Z in the head. That's what they call him, right there.
Oh, boom. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Trust me.
Yeah. So as I was saying, so Hulk Hogan was saying he was doing those roles, trying to get his thing up, and then they started to call him for the bigger roles, and then they invited him to a party, right? And at this party, he got the offer. And if you don't know what offer I'm talking about, that's your problem. I ain't getting into it.
He got the offer, and he said,
let's just say this. They said, go through this door. Let's make yourself at home.
And
your dreams will come true. And Hogan said, nah, bro.
I'm good, brother.
I prefer to damage my body in the ring.
You know what? I need him to tell the story. That's what I need.
No, I heard there's an interview out there. I got to look it up, but I heard there's one out there.
And the thing is,
so that's why he didn't make it to a bigger stardom. I mean, he just went back to wrestling. And B, did Rock go in the room?
Stop it.
Is that where you got your name from, Rock?
This way, Mr. Johnson. Okay, no problem.
Yeah. He went in Rocky Maivia and came out The Rock.
But you know what? Hey, and the thing is, although we're joking about it, these stories are true.
I hear it too often for them not to have some truth to it.
And this, I mean, I don't want to touch on that, but I'm going to because I think was it the Terry Crews situation?
Okay,
you know about that?
Break it down. Yeah.
Now the thing is that 50 Cent was calling him out and said, "Yo, you're a big man in muscles. How are you gonna let a man?" And I'm like, wow.
And he probably blew up after that.
That's the thing. He did. The thing is, though, like when he says he was, certain way, when he was fondled
in front of his wife. Let's add that. Mm-hmm.
My question is: you're a man with big a big man, former NFL player, and you didn't knock this man off his freaking
The
face.
size has nothing to do with it. Even that's an extra ingredient.
No,
but
not even the size. But you're a man.
You're a man. That's
again,
the first. You're a man, bro. And I don't even care if you're. It actually doesn't even matter if you're straight, gay, bi, whatever.
Right.
You did not invite this person to touch you that way, and you just take it.
Right. That's why. And I was wondering if you saw what 50 was saying, because even everybody was talking about after that. I said, "Yo, you're a big man.
That makes no sense, bro. I'm sorry.
The strongest man in the room by far, in any room when you walk into it." And you're telling me that this man who was 60, 70 years old, going off and doing whatever to you, and I'm like, you froze.
Why would he be comfortable doing that?
He traumatized.
Why is he comfortable doing that to you, Terry Crews?
Yeah, exactly. In front of your wife.
In front of your wife.
In a public surrounding.
You gotta be a pretty comfortable MOFer to do that.
Yeah. Because he, again, but at the same time, that Illuminati talk is there, because they're like, yo, I run things. So you want to freaking be successful.
Power plays.
And it sucks because it's in every industry.
Yeah.
From sports to music to movies.
No.
To real estate, to even the politics. There's always something that is crooked about something, and you can never trust.
I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be a tough one, but what is your price, if you have one, to go against something you're strongly against? What would somebody have? I'm not even picking you could make whatever you're strongly against. You don't even have to say what it is. Just in your brain, something that you pretty much vow that you would never do, right? Mm-hmm. How much would they have to offer you to do that thing? Is it possible in your brain? Be realistic, though. We're talking it could be $1 billion. But I'm just, what would be your price if you have one?
If it was the most, that's hard, because I mean, there's certain things that I can, dollar. I can take that dollar and say, yo, okay, yeah, you know what, we can talk about this, no problem, whatever. But then I'm like, this stuff where there's no going back once you say this, and no matter what dollar amount it is, that's pretty much blood money right there. I'm like, I don't want it. I don't. You know what? I don't even know if there's a dollar amount. I don't think there's an amount, because I'm very proud of how I stand by things, and the fact that someone would be offering a certain amount of money just ruins the integrity. Your integrity.
That's my problem. It's the integrity. But I'm realistic. I'm not saying, because again, it's also easy to say when you're not getting. Like, it's easy for us to say in a hypothetical way.
Yes. If somebody came up,
but somebody comes and says, "Yo, here's $1 billion, bro." If there's a person on this planet that doesn't at least say, "Yeah, but it's $1 billion, man."
Yeah.
$1 billion?
Yeah. That's
hold on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's $1 billion. Like,
yeah.
If you're not,
that's
every
honest.
Human's doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see nobody not doing that unless you already have $1 billion.
Again, you're right. But again, some people will be even saying, yo, for less. I'm like, yo, sign me up.
Oh yeah. Some man is doing it for 10 grand.
I'm in.
Some man is doing it for $100.
Yeah.
50.
And that's the thing.
Some man.
It's
a bunch of them. So now this kind of segues me. Hit me with the button one time. Segue. Okay, so this is my scenario question now. Okay?
Ready for it.
All right. So you have a business, you have a partner, right? You and your partner, let's say it's your supplement business, right? You open a store, right? So you're paying rent for a retail space.
Right.
The owner of that space comes to you one day and says, "Hey guys, listen, I got to give you 30 days or whatever, 2 months, 3 months notice. I'm going to need the space back. We're going to change this place up and whatever. We're tearing down this building, whatever. I have another space that you could use. It's a nicer space than this one. You probably attract a lot more clientele. Sorry, he doesn't come to you guys. He comes to you. And you get a lot more clientele. It might be a little bit more rent for you here, or it might be more rent, but it should offset because it's a nicer space. You're going to get more clientele.
Right.
My only thing is you got to get rid of your partner because I don't like him. What do you do?
Depending on the relationship with my partner.
You personally don't, not even personally, business wise, don't have any issues with your partner.
Oh, he's got to go then. Sorry.
You get rid of your partner?
Getting rid of him.
And you don't have issues with him.
Business is business. Is it my business or is it his business or is it
your
our
partners?
business?
It's your business. It's our. We're partners, or it's the two of you. You guys got together to open this business.
Okay, then.
So it's not a thing where you brought him in on your business. Let's say you both are equal.
So
partners.
then I would actually tell him the scenario, and
The-
if he wants to, if
the
he
owner.
wants, yes, I would tell I would tell my partner,
okay,
the scenario, and this is what's going on. So I'll give the option to buy him out respectfully, and I continue somewhere else. Respectful for that's a respectful way to do it, depending on your again.
It's definitely the respectful way. I think my issue here is a couple things. One, you can find another space. You don't have to take this particular owner space.
Yeah, but when you're talking business though, and he says, "Hey, you can probably make more bang for your buck in another location, just a little bit more off the top." I'm thinking, steps ahead of the game.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed. That's not a guaranteed thing.
You're right.
That's his pitch to you. My main thing here is this means, okay, let me answer the question for myself. It doesn't make sense to me to pay more money for potential more business, and you're dictating to me who is a part of my business, and you're not a part of my business. That part doesn't make sense to me. The owner's not a partner in your business. He just owns the space that you run your business out of. So to allow him to dictate to me who's going to be a part of my business, that can always happen. I guess what I'm saying to you is he doesn't like this guy. So what if you choose to bring in another guy? He could tell you again, oh, I don't like that guy. Get rid of him too.
Okay, I get you.
And he's not investing. He's not a part. He doesn't get profit. He doesn't. I don't. Where I see what you're saying is it's about the benefit for you overall. I get that. I do understand that. But my problem is an outsider shouldn't dictate what I'm doing with my business. That shouldn't happen. He could because he has all right. Don't get me wrong. He has all rights to say, I don't want this guy in my building. That's fine. But by telling me that I can have the space if I get rid of that guy, you're now trying to tell me how to run my business.
Right. Okay. I get what you're saying.
That's the problem for me.
That makes sense. Okay. I understand what you're saying. I was actually going to mirror it to the education system. It's not a guarantee that you will get the job that you go to school for.
Right. Yes.
And you're paying all this money in the hopes to getting this. But really and truly.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But
sounds good.
It's not a guarantee.
What if I get rid? And it's the thing. The other side, there's another part to that. You're going to pay more. He's telling you you're going to pay more rent. And now you're getting rid of a partner, which means you're paying more rent.
Yes.
On top of that.
No, you're right. You're right.
So you're like you just said, for the potential, I'm doing this.
Right.
What if I get rid of this guy and this thing doesn't work?
Then I'm out. I could lose the business in a month, 2 months, 6 months.
Because I can't even afford to keep it going. Because you told me to get rid of my other guy.
No, you're right. You're right.
Now, when I come back to you and say, "Oh, things aren't running well," you're going to drop the rent for me, or you're going to tell me, "Yo, but it's business."
Right.
No,
I get it.
But I've asked a few people this question, and it's kind of funny to me that most people have said what you said. It's business, and that's true.
I'm looking at it as a business type because it is a business question. So you want to stay off top of the game. That's the cutthroat mentality. You have to make sure you get your food.
No, I'm definitely not built like that. That's one thing I can tell you.
I've been in business and I've seen how it run because a lot of people do that.
Absolutely,
a lot of the
most successful businesses are probably run like that.
Yeah, well, look at Amazon's and the Microsofts and whatnot. Someone was bought out. Someone was said, you know what? We don't need you anymore. But I was the founder. Yeah, it's okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Here's some money. Enjoy life. And they continue running.
But you see, here's the thing, Toads. I might feel differently if a person comes to us and says, yo, your podcast is great, but I want to buy it out. I want to get rid of slang, or I want to get rid of tokes or whatever, right? But I'm going to give you $100,000 as an investment to to grow your
Make
platform.
it, yeah.
To grow your platform. That I understand. And then now that to me is a business thing where then I will come to you and say, yo, guy, this is a guaranteed 100 grand.
Yeah, he's giving you
I'm gonna
something.
give you, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay you 50 of this 100, buy you out.
Yes.
You go on your way.
Right.
That's different than just telling me I'm giving you a space, and I'm not giving you a space.
Right.
You're paying for a space.
You're right. You know,
to get rid of the guy. That's different. It's different. That offer is different.
I looked at it as a cutthroat business move, but your scenario has more to it than just that. So I get it. It makes
and to
sense.
your point, you are right. It is a cutthroat business move for him, like for the owner.
Oh, it's a cutthroat. Yeah,
you're supposed to do that. That's fine.
Cutting out. Yeah.
Yes.
Getting you out, and he's giving you a spot that could make him more money.
I don't even wrong him for doing that.
No, that's the business move. So that's why I went that route. And I'm like, well, if I want to continue my business, well, I got to I have to make the proper choice to make it continue. So that's why I'm like, okay,
that's different.
But I mean, the guaranteed money situation is guaranteed money,
right?
He's saying there's
and I could pay you to get rid of you. Like I could, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the check. Boom.
Right.
What do you want to do? Like, let me go talk to some people. So, hey, this is what's going on right now. Here's what I got. Take this, and we're good. And I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
What are you going to solve? What are you going to fault? When you start with what if we started the show and it started with nothing, and someone offers $100,000 and say, yo, Slang, someone wants to continue with this but doesn't like you, here's 50 G's. Okay. Exactly. And say with Toast, man. We love you, but we want to keep slang and moving on. Here's 50 grand and going away. Well, there's the door. I'll see you.
Shit, give me 25. Give me 25. You mean we're not making money right now, and you're gonna give me 25 to leave?
What I'm saying.
I'm taking the 25 and starting my own.
Exactly.
Or I'll start over again.
Exactly.
Or start something else. Like
exactly.
Yeah, easy. That's easy work. But I would understand that.
Money in hand, though. Money in hand. Whereas there's actual and then there's potential. That's why I hate the word potential, because I'm it could just sit there and sit there and sit there. I hated it when people said, you got the potential. I mean, you know what? Potential? Let me keep on going. What do you mean potential? Let's make it a reality.
And actual.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm looking again. I can definitely tell a story, because I started working out even more intense now. So on my days off, I have 3 days of working out. First day is a pull day. Second day is legs. Third day is a pull, and that's what I did for the 3 days. And I'm like, and I put on YouTube motivational speeches and just
while working out.
Yes, loud and just work it out. So I had guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger talking. There's speeches in movies. The Rock is talking. All these people are talking. Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about that black Marine that wrote a book.
The bald guy?
Yeah. He's there running things. I'm like, these guys make sense. Because again, they say, oh, potential is potential. You got to put it in action. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. So
facts.
And they always tell you you have to have a goal.
Facts.
Whether it's a time goal, a day goal, or any type of weight goal or anything, you have to have a stopping point,
right,
to get better.
Right.
Because if you're just doing things to do, then you'll never get to that end, and it'll just continue. I know life doesn't end when you get that goal, because you can always set up a new goal.
That's right.
You're not doing it. So I said, okay, I'm listening to these guys. I'm like, it's getting into my head. I'm like, it makes sense. Like I'm now 44. I'm like, it's now making sense. So why not do that? Put it into practice. And still push, because these guys are successful because of this, and it's not like they're hiding. The Rock is a free multi-millionaire with businesses and so forth.
Ask him how many times he failed.
Exactly, and he's I've watched I've known his story from day one. Went to CFL, got injured, left there with $7 in his pocket, trying to get to this, and he had nothing. Then he went into wrestling. And that was just a stepping stone to something bigger. Now he doesn't have to do anything. He can sit and do nothing and just work out, and enjoy life. But again, he had to go through the trials and tribulations. Fail 9 times out of 10. All you need is that one break.
Poof. All you need is a 10th. Exactly. Get up to 10th.
I mean, I've done this podcast. I've done different podcasts from multiple names and multiple people. And I'm like, yo, something's going to click.
Exactly.
And something's going to work. So why stop?
Don't kill the dream before you even let it live. Let the dream live. Let it
Exactly.
breathe. It'll grow.
As much as you get kicked down or you get struggling or whatever, there's
Mhm.
always the next day and the next day.
Absolutely.
And like based on where we started, based on how we were having a phone and a mic on top and we talked, or we had Skype and the connection was horrible. Look at us now. Look
Yep.
at us now.
Yep.
Right? We have
Progression.
editors, we have a social media presence, we have people talking, people. I mean, we all didn't see this coming, but it's there, and it could.
Yep.
And I hate to use the word potential, but the potential is there for it to be better. But it's
Even
not going to do
bigger.
it on its own. You have to put in the work,
And you gotta
right?
focus.
So,
Yeah,
so
just
when you
focus
so when
in
you
and put in the work.
so when you tell me, hey, I got time to do this, all right. Yeah,
Yep.
I was in bed just chilling.
Yep.
It was 30 degrees outside. I'm like, I'm gonna stay in here and just chill. He said, yo, let's get up and do it.
It's
Let's go
30
to work.
degrees up there. That's the news in itself.
Yeah. No
It's
doubt.
actually warmer than it is here. What the hell is going on?
30, it was 30 degrees out there. I'm
What?
like, man, but that's the thing with the weather here. It's either super cold or very,
Or
very,
super
very
hot.
hot.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
uncomfortable hot. So you just
Makes
stay
sense.
away from the heat. So yeah,
Yeah.
I was there just chilling in the bed, just with the AC. I'm like, yo, you said, yo, you ready to go? Okay, boom, brush
Let's do
myself
it.
off. Let's go. And then an hour and 10 minutes later, we're done. We just send it to the editor. Hey, there you go. There's
You
content.
know the old saying, you make time for what you want to in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what it is, man. You
Yeah,
make time for what you want to in life. And
exactly.
I'm guilty. I'm sure you've been guilty of
Of course.
you want to do something and you just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm too busy, or I'm too tired, or I'm too this,
Yeah,
I'm too that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, all those twos don't add up to fours, brother. I'm
Facts.
sorry. You got to go get it. You got
Facts.
to go get it.
Yes.
And it took me a long time to come to terms with that about myself.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it.
stop. We used to call it the bread family, because you're loafing.
Loafing.
The
You're definitely
loafing.
loafing. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely
I'm
loafing.
not
Yep,
loafing
that's
no
a
more, man.
term.
I try not to loaf
And
as much as
again,
possible anymore.
I can admit it. I'm 44 and it's
Yeah.
clicking now. It's
Yes.
clicking now.
Yep.
So, and I'm not embarrassed to say, hey, it took me this long to understand it. Because
Hmm.
again, I'm only 44. I'm not
Age has nothing to
84.
do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not, I still got time. And if you don't, somebody else will.
That's a fact.
There's definitely somebody's gonna be saying, hey, you know what? This guy's not doing a show today. Let's get on this.
Yeah.
Let's take his fans, let's take his peoples.
Yeah.
And people will. It's
And
like you
it's not
said,
even a
it's
conscious
ruthless.
thing. They're just working, and
Exactly.
and it just happens,
Again,
conscious or
Rock,
not.
like The Rock says he wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning and he does
Hmm.
cardio right off. And sometimes again, it's still dark out and
Right.
he's the only one working. And
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I know
He's
what I'm
outworking
doing it for.
everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
And then Arnold says, well, you have 24 hours a day. If you use 8 hours of sleep, that means that gives you a whole bunch of other hours to do everything you need to do. So just
Facts.
do it. Just do it.
Facts. A
And don't
man
think
will
about it, just do
go
it.
to work 12 hours a day
Mm,
to fulfill somebody else's dream, and
mm.
will come home and go to sleep to only dream.
That's
That
yes.
that is
That's
the
deep.
wildest
Yeah,
cycle.
that's deep.
The wildest cycle. We won't invest in our own dreams, but we're there killing ourselves so
Mhm,
other people can fulfill their own. Nah,
mhm.
bro. I'm not doing that no more. And I'm gonna
Right.
end it on this.
Mm,
Our greatest hindrance is fear. And
100%.
sometimes that's the fear of even the positive, the fear of the success, the fear of the progression, the fear of the work that it takes to get there, the fear of the unknown.
Yep.
But it's the fear. Don't be afraid, be active.
Just do. Just do. And
Yeah.
that's all it is, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Like
Anyways,
Nike.
folks,
Yes, sir.
we're in, we're out. Again, another great show. We're definitely got some more content coming into you guys. We might even do a live show soon, man. We have the access to do it now. We can definitely go live
Yeah,
and
we
get
should do
some
that. We
people.
should do that. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah,
That'd be
we
dope.
should
That'd
definitely
be
do it
dope.
live. Let's
Yeah.
do it up. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yes,
we're
sir.
off. I got
Yes,
work in the
sir.
morning. This
Oh,
man's probably
sir.
working right now. Who
No, I'm
knows?
not working. I'm not working today. I'm not working. I'm on a brief vacation for the next 4 days, but I am going to
Okay.
sleep because
There you go.
I
All
have
right.
some nightlife to attend to.
All right. All right. There you go. All right. We're out of here. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Peace out.